Asia Reeves and her little sister Maria are desperately trying to escape their abusive father. They hide inside a small store, hoping they're finally safe, but their father tracks them down anyway. As the girls try to run, one of his friends blocks their path. In a moment of panic and rage, Asia pulls out a gun and shoots her father straight in the chest. He survives the attack, but the damage is done. Asia is arrested, while Maria is forced back into the custody of the very man they were trying to escape. 10 years later, Asia finally gets out of prison and starts over under a fake identity. Calling herself Isabel, she takes a job at a mysterious Manhattan hotel known as the Virgil. The place feels unsettling from the moment she arrives. She meets the hotel's strange superintendent, Lilith Woodhouse, her cold and bitter husband Ray, and several wealthy residents, including beauty mogul Sharon Vanderbilt. The Virgil itself has a dark reputation, standing for over a century with secrets buried deep inside its walls. Late one night, Asia hears disturbing noises echoing through the hallway. When the lights suddenly cut out, her instincts tell her something is wrong. She locks herself inside her room, but danger is already there. A masked man named Bob sneaks in and tries to assault her. Asia wakes up just in time and fights back with everything she has, eventually smashing his head against a table and knocking him unconscious. But the nightmare is far from over. More people enter the room, including Sharon Vanderbilt, Kevin Sullivan, and several armed attackers who all seem determined to kill her. Thinking quickly, Asia pretends to be unconscious. The second Sharon grabs her legs, Asia bites down on an exposed lamp wire, electrocuting both of them in a brutal surprise attack. She then dives into the closet and discovers a hidden stash of deadly weapons. Armed with a machete and a shotgun, Asia unleashes chaos. She violently takes down Kevin and battles the remaining assassins one by one, refusing to die without a fight. After surviving the massacre, Asia steps into the hallway where Lilith confronts her. Lilith already knows she's not the real Isabel and demands the truth. With nowhere left to hide, Asia reveals everything. After getting out of prison, she hired a private investigator to track down Maria, who is now working as a maid inside the Virgil. Desperate to reconnect with her sister, Asia intercepted the real Isabel, stole her identity, and infiltrated the hotel herself, unaware that she had just walked straight into something far more dangerous than she ever imagined. To Asia's horror, the nightmare isn't over. Kevin, Sharon, and the other killers suddenly rise back to their feet, their wounds healing right in front of her eyes. Lilith calmly reveals the truth: the residents of the Virgil cannot die. They're immortal. The assassins continue hunting Asia through the hotel, forcing her to crawl through the ventilation shafts to survive. Sharon follows her inside the vents, leading to a savage fight where Asia repeatedly stabs her without mercy before finally blowing Sharon's head apart with a shotgun blast. Even then, Sharon's body remains alive long enough for her rolling eyeball to spy on Asia's location, revealing that she's heading toward the hotel's infamous fuck floor. Asia is eventually cornered by Ray, but instead of killing her, he confesses that he's sick of the horrors happening inside the Virgil. Tired of living forever, Ray exposes the hotel's terrifying secret. The Virgil is actually home to a satanic cult that earned immortality by offering human sacrifices to Satan himself. Every immortal resident has their name written on a sacred list that keeps them alive forever. But if they fail the cult or disobey Satan, their names are erased, and they become mortal again. Ray warns Asia that the entire building is designed like a giant death trap, and the only possible escape route is through the fire escape. Wanting to help Asia, Ray secretly takes her to the hidden room where Maria has been locked away. The reunion between the sisters is emotional, but years of pain quickly surface. Maria bitterly accuses Asia of abandoning her and leaving her trapped with their abusive father. Unlike Asia, Maria already knows about the cult and actually believes becoming immortal could save her life. She hopes to someday earn a place on the sacred list herself. When Maria refuses to leave, Asia makes the painful decision to knock her unconscious and smuggle her out through a dumbwaiter before the cult can stop them. Meanwhile, Ray is captured by Lilith after betraying the cult. Asia eventually reaches the hotel kitchen with Maria, where the sisters finally open up about everything that happened after they were separated. Maria reveals that their father later died from cancer, and after years of struggling through low-paying jobs and a miserable life, she eventually found herself working at the Virgil, where she narrowly escaped becoming a sacrifice. Asia also admits that prison changed her completely. It's where she learned how to fight and survive. Even though she knows Maria still resents her, Asia refuses to give up. No matter what happens, she's determined to save her sister and get them both out alive. Lilith unleashes the entire cult on the sisters, ordering every resident on every floor of the Virgil to hunt them down. Refusing to surrender, Asia fights back in brutal fashion, even setting an axe on fire before tearing through wave after wave of attackers. The sisters attempt to escape through an elevator shaft leading to the fire escape, but the cultists ambush them from all sides. During the chaos, one of the possessed maids briefly dies while chasing them, only adding to the horrifying madness inside the hotel. Eventually, the overwhelming numbers catch up to Asia and Maria, and both sisters are captured by Lilith. Lilith drags them to the top floor, where Ray is already being held prisoner. There, the cult performs a terrifying ritual to summon Satan himself. The devil speaks through a severed pig's head, which also contains the sacred list that grants immortality to the cult members. As punishment for betrayal, Satan erases Ray's name from the list, instantly stripping away his immortality. Lilith wastes no time slitting Ray's throat, killing him for good. The cult then turns to Maria, demanding that she sacrifice Asia in exchange for eternal life, since the real Isabel was originally meant to be the night's victim. But Maria shocks everyone with her decision. Instead of betraying her sister, she secretly writes Asia's name onto the pig's head and sacrifices herself by slitting her own throat. Furious and heartbroken, Asia launches into one final blood-soaked battle against Kevin, Sharon, and the remaining cultists. After taking them down one by one, she faces Lilith in a monstrous final showdown after Lilith merges herself with the demonic pig head. The two clash in a savage fight that tears apart the top floor of the Virgil, ending with Asia ripping the pig head free while Lilith is violently impaled on a wooden beam. Determined to end the cult forever, Asia pours bleach over the pig head and sets it on fire, destroying the names that gave the cultists immortality and making their deaths permanent. Before burning it completely, she carefully cuts away the section containing her own name. She then throws the flaming pig head down the elevator shaft, where it crashes into the maid below and explodes in a fiery blast. Carrying Maria's lifeless body in her arms, Asia orders the surviving residents to run before the entire place collapses. Outside the hotel, Asia reunites with the private investigator who helped her find Maria in the first place. As they load Maria's body into the car, something impossible happens. Maria suddenly comes back to life. Asia secretly replaced her own name with Maria's on the immortality list, giving her sister eternal life instead. The investigator drives the sisters far away from Manhattan as flames consume the Virgil behind them. Moments later, the top floor explodes, finally destroying the nightmare that haunted the building for over a century. This movie was absolutely insane from start to finish. The mix of brutal action, horror, and dark comedy made every scene unpredictable, and Asia was such a badass main character. The whole immortality cult twist inside the Virgil turned the story into pure chaos, especially once the residents started coming back from the dead. But the emotional bond between Asia and Maria is what really carried the film, giving all the violence an actual heart. The ending was wild, emotional, and honestly one of the craziest finales in recent horror action movies. What makes this movie stand out is how it constantly keeps raising the stakes. Just when you think Asia finally escaped, the film throws something even crazier at her. The fight scenes were brutal and creative, the atmosphere inside the Virgil felt creepy the entire time, and the cult storyline made the movie feel completely unpredictable. It's the kind of movie that keeps viewers hooked because you genuinely never know who's going to die, come back to life, or betray someone next.